Hey everybody, David here, and this is another Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition class breakdown tutorial. And this particular tutorial deals with the Paladin archetype, the Oath of the Ancients. Now, the Paladin as a baseline class is very strong in D&D 5e. You're going to get a multitude of class features, such as your proficiency bonus going from a +2 all the way to +6 at later levels. You're going to get a ton of different spells, from casting 1st level spells to 5th level spells. And then, as you can see here, as you level and progress, you will get a multitude of class features such as Divine Sense, Lay on Hands, 5 ability score improvements. You'll be able to get an extra attack in there. You'll get several different auras, and then you'll get, at level 3, you'll be able to take your Sacred Oath. And this Sacred Oath deals with the Oath of the Ancients. Now, the Oath of the Ancients is an additional set of class features and also spells that you're going to be able to add to your baseline Paladin to give it a more flavorful type of Paladin. There's multiple different Paladins to choose from, but the Oath of the Ancients is as old as the race of elves and the rituals of the Druids. Sometimes called Fey Knights, Green Knights, or Horn Knights, Paladins who swear this oath cast their lot with the side of the light in the cosmic struggle against darkness because they love the beautiful and life-giving things of the world, not just necessarily because they believe in principles of honor, courage, and justice. They adorn their armor and clothing with images of growing things such as leaves, antlers, or flowers, and this reflects their commitment to preserving life and light in the world. Now, you can see that the Oath of the Ancients is basically a type of druidic paladin. Really cool. It's a really nice flavor that they added for D&D 5e. Now, as with the other paladins, you're going to get Tenets of the Ancients, and this is basically with the player how these are principles that the player really needs to follow while playing the Oath of the Ancients, and it's up to the Dungeon Master to really enforce those tenets if the player is starting to stray from them. So there's 4 tenets of the Ancients, and the first one is Kindle the Light. And through your acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness, kindle the light of hope in the world beating back despair. Pretty easy. Shelter the light. Where there is good, beauty, love, and laughter in the world, stand against the wickedness that would swallow it. Where life flourishes, stand against the forces that would render it barren. The third is preserve your own light. Delight in song and laughter, in beauty and art. If you allow the light to die in your own heart, you cannot preserve it in the world. And the last tenet is be the light. Be a glorious beacon for all who live in despair. Let the light of your joy and courage shine forth in all of your deeds. So, you can see that the Oath of the Ancients Paladin is your stereotypical type of paladin, but with the Oath of the Ancients twist and a lot of druidic things. Now, the Oath of the Ancients, you're going to get bonus spells, and this is your oath spells, basically. And I'll explain oath spells. When you're a paladin, you get a certain pool of spells, depending on your half level and a modifier. Now, what you want to do is when you take this, when you have your base pool, you're going to add your oath spells on top of your pool of spells. So you're still going to have to expend your spell slots to cast these, such as your level 3 Paladin Oath spell, Ensnaring Strike, or Speak with Animals. So you'll still have to expend spell slots, but these are basically free spells that you'll always have memorized and do not need to be included in your base spell pool. So that's pretty much the easiest way to explain that. Now, not only at level 3 you're going to get Ensnaring Strike and Speak with Animals, but at level 5 you will get Moonbeam, and a really nice one, Misty Step, which is a teleport. Level 9 you'll get Plant Growth, Protection from Energy. Level 13, Ice Storm and Stone Skin. And finally at level 17, Commune with Nature and Tree Stride. So you can see these are all Druid themed or nature themed. Now, also, when you choose Oath of the Ancients at level 3, you're going to get your Channel Divinities. And just like the Cleric, the Paladin also gets a Channel Divinity feature. you're going to get two that you're going to be able to use. The first one is Nature's Wrath. And this is when you use your Channel Divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. So, as an action, you can call spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you that you can see. The creature must succeed on a strength or dexterity saving throw, depending on your saving throw DC, and the monster or creature, it gets to choose if it wants to roll strength or dexterity. It is their choice. If it fails the strength or dex saving throw, it will have the restrained condition. While restrained by the vines, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, and on a success, it frees itself, and the vines will vanish from Nature's Wrath. Pretty straightforward, really nice. So, next you're going to get Turn the Faithless. This is the second Channel Divinity option that you'll get. And this is where you utter ancient words that are painful for Fae and Fiends to hear. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each fair fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a Wisdom saving throw against your saving throw DC. On a failed Wisdom saving throw, the creature is turned for 1 minute, which 1 minute is equal to 10 rounds, each round is 6 seconds, or until it takes damage. So if it takes damage, it is no longer, will not be turned, and it will probably continue to try to eat your face off. So, a turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it cannot willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. That's pretty straightforward. It's not going to try to get closer. It is literally going to try to get away from you. It also cannot take reactions, so it cannot take any kind of opportunity attacks. For its action, it can only use the dash action, which is basically double movement for your round, or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. So the dodge action is when you go into a defensive posture and everyone attacking you will have disadvantage. As long as the target, as long as you can see the target, they will get disadvantage. Now, if the creature's true form is concealed by an illusion, shape-shifting, or other effect, that form is also revealed while it is turned. So, you got a couple pretty nice Channel Divinity options there in Nature's Wrath and Turn the Faithless. So, next up, at level 7, you are going to obtain another aura, and this will be the third aura that you'll get by taking the Oath of the Ancients. So, ancient magic lies so heavily upon you that it forms an Eldritch ward. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage to spells. That's pretty strong, especially for level 7. If you do not know what resistance is in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, resistance means that you take half damage if you are resistant to something. So, in 5e, resistance is really strong. And this is pretty straightforward. You and all friendly targets within 10 feet of you will take half damage from spells. Now, at level 18, like your other auras that you're going to get, Aura of Protection and Level Courage, they'll all upgrade at level 18, including this Aura of Warding, where the range of the aura will increase from 10 feet to 30 feet. So that's a lot more space to cover. And that is Aura of Warding. Next, you are going to get Undying Sentinel. And this is at level 15. When you're reduced to 0 hit points and are not killed outright, you can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead. Once you use this ability, you cannot use it again until you finish a long rest. You additionally suffer no drawbacks of old age, and you cannot be aged magically. So Undying Sentinel is really strong. You can use it once before you need another long rest. So as long as you're not killed outright, you basically go to 1 hit point, which is really nice. So that could give you a chance to possibly heal yourself or get healed by another player before you would literally go down. So Undying Sentinel, really nice. Finally, you're going to get Elder Champion. and Elder Champion is at 20th level. And this is where you can assume the form of an ancient force of nature, taking on an appearance you choose. For example, your skin might turn green or take on a bark-like texture. Your hair may become leafy green or moss-like, or you might even sprout antlers or a lion-like mane. So as your action, you will undergo a transformation into this form, and for 1 minute, which is 10 rounds in combat, 6 seconds a round, you will gain the following 3 benefits. First, at the start of each of your turns, you will regain 10 hit points. Pretty nice. Nice little regeneration at the start of each of your turns. Secondly, whenever you cast a Paladin spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can now cast it using a bonus action instead. That is really nice. So you'll literally be able to use a Cure Wounds or another type of spell as a bonus action and still be able to take your standard action and attack and even get multi-attack, because the Paladin at level 5 will get multi-attack. So Elder Champion will be super strong for 10 rounds. You better believe it. Now last, your third benefit that you're going to get: enemy creatures within 10 feet of you will have disadvantage on saving throws against your Paladin spells against your Paladin DC, and this also includes your channel Divinity options that you use too. So that's really nice. And then once you use Elder Champion, once you use this feature, you cannot use it again until you finish a long rest. So as you can see, the Oath of the Ancients is a pretty nice addition to the baseline Paladin. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to try one of these Oath of the Ancient Paladins, check out my website at tabletopping.net. I have over 840 character sheets from levels 1 to 20, every class, every archetype for D&D 5e. They're all nice 3-page PDF formats. The link will be down below for you for the Paladins. Check them out, download one, take it to your game. Thank you guys again. Leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.